Hey there, Stampers. Happy Friday. Welcome to this week's Facebook or what this week's live. Just adjusting my camera here. Okay. All right. So I am here to share this month's Paper Pumpkin scrapbooking video. So every month when I receive my Paper Pumpkin kit, I usually try to go live with a scrapbooking idea, how you can use your monthly kit to create a scrapbook layout. So first of all, before we jump in, let me share what this kit is intended to create. I guess I should welcome myself. It seems like it's been a while since I've done a live. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And thank you so much for joining me this morning. All right, so this month's Paper Pumpkin kit is kind of a love themed kit. It's called Hearts for You. This is the January 2025 kit, and it includes all of the supplies that you need to create 9 cards. And here it shows you the 3 cards, but I always like to create the cards pretty close to what they've done. So here is card number 1, and the kit contains all of the supplies that you need. Here's card number 2. I love these hearts popped up like that to create that nice dimensional background. So pretty. So it's got some kind of brushed gold foil accents in it. So those are the cards that you can create. You do get an exclusive stamp set and you get a Stampin' Spot. So when you're a subscriber, unfortunately, this kit is not available anymore. You do need to be a subscriber and subscribe by the 10th of the month to receive that month's kit. However, there may be, and I forgot to check, there may be refill kits available. And the refill kits contain all of the consumable supplies, just not the exclusive stamp set and the Stampin' Spot. All right, so we're going to leave that out. And then, like I said, all the bits and pieces that you need to create the projects for that month. So we're going to keep all of this stuff out because who knows what I'm going to end up using for today's layout. All right. And then of course you get instructions. So, and they're not detailed instructions, they're just photo instructions, but the projects are meant to be really simple, so you don't need a whole lot more. And then on the back, it shows you the optional add-on. So you can purchase these dies, and these dies coordinate with 3 months worth of kits. So this particular die set coordinates with January, February, and March Paper Pumpkin kits. So obviously the heart coordinates with this month's kit. And then it shows you the contents of the kit, and it also lists down any of the Stampin' Up! Colors that coordinate with that month's kit. All right, so let me just make sure, now that I've explained all that, okay, I just wanted to make sure that we had some sound. Let me set this stuff aside, and I'll share what I've pulled out to use and kind of what I've done so far. So I decided to use a real red 12 by 12 as my background. I don't often use colored cardstock as my background. I love a lot of white space, so I often use white, but we're gonna go with a colored background. And then I have this piece of white, and this just happened to be in my bin. It's 12 inches long, and it's just a scrap, and I'm gonna go with whatever size it is. It appears it is 7 inches wide by 12 inches tall. And then I've got some scraps of a 12-inch length black cardstock, and I think I'm going to put this kind of like this. I just haven't decided if this strip is going to go this way or if I'm going to put it this way. So we're going to put it this way for now. I'm going to document 2 3x4 photos. So I've got those, just some copy paper mounted on some black cardstock, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm thinking it's going to go like that if we go with our layout that way. I've also pulled out the add-on dies. I've pulled out the elements of text. This is a Stampin' Up! Online exclusive stamp set. Absolutely love it. I use it almost every time I sit down to stamp, it seems. So I pulled that out to add a little bit of interest in the background, to do a little bit of stamping. What else? I've got Real Red and Flirty Flamingo ink. I've got a blending brush because I want to add some color to one of the die cut pieces that are in the kit. And I've done some die cutting. So using this die here, I have used, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I have used the card bases. So this was a card base. I cut it in half and then I die cut 2 of these dies. So when you use this die, it gives you the frame and it gives you the inside heart. So I did that from the red striped card base, and then I also did it from this Flirty Flamingo kind of marble patterned card base as well. So I've done that. So I've got 4 of those. And then I've also pulled out, these are hearts from the kit and they layer beautifully. So these were meant to be used on this card here. So you can see that they're layered together. So I'm going to use those here as well. So my idea is to kind of, I might actually alternate these. I might do something like this, and then maybe this, and then that. This one. So this is kind of what I'm thinking, maybe something like this to create kind of a fun background. And then my photos, this one I might not need to use because that'll be covered over. So I might save that one. So something kind of like that. That's kind of where I'm thinking that this will go. But I have a few other things that I want to do before we start working on the layout. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to pull in. Now I've got this sticky mat. I believe this is a Tim Holtz product, if I remember correctly. I think it was my mom who gave it to me for Christmas one year. So it is not from Stampin' Up, but it comes in super handy when you want to do some ink blending. So first of all, I'm going to pop out these pieces because I don't want to add color to these ones. But because it's a bit tacky, it holds your cardstock nicely so that it doesn't move around. And these are the hearts that are intended to be used on this project here. So here you just leave them white, but I want to add some color to them. So, and I think I needed 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, because I've got one already done. We're going to use some Flirty Flamingo ink, and I think I'm going to, let me grab a scrap piece of paper so I can cover this over. I don't necessarily want to ink all of them in case I want to do something different with the rest. So I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4, or I'll just put this on here like this. Okay, so I'm going to use my blending brush and add some color. And this is much easier to do while it's still in the background, in the negative space, rather than popping it out, because you have a little bit more surface area to hang on to. So, and if you don't have a mat like this, you can just use some washi tape or some Post-it notes to kind of hold your piece in place while you add your color. I was given this years and years and years ago, and well, years and years, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And it was probably within the last 4 months that I actually just pulled it out and used it for the first time. And it's such a great tool. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it's some sort of tacky mat. If anybody knows, post it in the comments because I would love to be able to post a link if anybody is interested. Okay, we're going to add well, maybe a little bit. I want it a little bit darker. So those of you who are watching, have you received your paper pumpkin kit? Have you played with it yet? So it's still celebration time. So when I'm filming this video, it's January 31st. So we still have another month of celebration, and celebration is a great time to pick up a prepaid paper pumpkin subscription, because if you go, depending on the subscription that you go with, you can earn celebration perks, which is always nice. Okay, let me just check here. I've got one that's already done, so I want to try to match the color. I'm trying to pick this up here. Okay, so we need to go a little bit darker. There we go, that's closer. Oh, well, I appreciate you watching, Shelley. All right. So if you don't have this month's paper pumpkin kit, you can always use these ideas and use supplies that you have on hand to create something similar. So you'll see I'm going to actually use these, and they won't be seen as hearts on my layout. I'm going to use them as a border to create just a little bit of interest down that strip that's going to go down my page. Okay, let's just add a little bit more, and then I think we're ready. Okay, I think that's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty close. All right. So we'll set that aside, and then we're going to poke these out. And then we'll bring back our pieces that we had started positioning. And I'll show you what we're going to do with these. Not sure what the weather's like where you guys are, but oh my gosh, I can see the snow coming down where we are here. Okay, we'll set that aside. We can get rid of this. And we'll bring this back. Set these aside, and I'm just going to set these aside for now while we work on this background piece. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with this is I want to add these black strips. So I'm just going to add a little bit of seal adhesive here, and I just want a little hint of black. And I thought of using gold, but I looked through the gold foil that I have, and my gold foil is more true gold, whereas this is more of a brushed gold. Like if you look at this, and it was just too different for me. So this is almost like a brushed, I don't even know if you'd call that gold. It is still gold. Let's see what it says on the instructions. What does it say? Oh, it's champagne. So it's champagne foil. So I didn't have anything that was close to that color, and it was just too different for my liking. So I decided to go with black. I will still add some gold elements on this page. Okay, so we've got that. Now what I want to do is I am going to add another border. So I'm going to take my seal adhesive and go all the way down. And I'm going to use my hearts, but I'm going to use them like this so that I have like a scallop border. So I have that pretty scallop border going down like that. So I know that I'm going to need 2 and a bit, so that's why I did 4, and I had 1 already done. And then I'll do this last one, last little bit here. So with a bit of creativity, you can really use the contents of your kit however you want. And I figured with the hearts that I die cut, there's already going to be lots of hearts on this kit, or on this page. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. All right. And we'll do here. Actually, let's start up here. And then we'll do this one. This one's a teeny bit darker. This must have been the one that I did before. So if you're looking for more inspiration using this kit, on Friday over on my blog at stamptreasures.com, there I will be participating in a paper pumpkin thing blog hop. So there'll be more inspiration shared with this kit. So I created some cards that I'll share with you guys. All right. And then you can hop along and find out what everybody else is creating as well. All right. Okay, so I'm thinking, I don't know, let's see. Do we want it going that way or do we want it going this way? Let's see. I'm thinking we're going to go this way. Okay, now I want to do some stamping before I stick this down. So I've grabbed some of the stamps from the Elements of Text stamp set. So I'm going to use this one here first, and I'm going to stamp it in Real Red. So Real Red is the color of ink spot that you get in this month's kit. But I like to use my full-size ink pads, especially with a stamp this large. So I'm just going to ink that up with Real Red. Make sure my piece is straight. I'm just going to set this over here. Use my glass mat for a grid, and we're going to slide this down. Stamp that on there, and then without re-inking, I'm going to stamp it again. It's very subtle. I just want a little bit of a subtle background. And then we're going to do down here. And we'll go up. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in, I think I'm going to bring in a little bit of black. So I'm going to grab my Memento. And we can set this aside for now. And I'm going to use this stamp here. And we're going to stamp some of that. Okay, and then this will be a little bit more noticeable. I want to make sure this one is definitely straight. So that's going to go about there. And then we'll do another one down here. This stamp set is so great for adding things like this. I use it on, like I said earlier, almost all of my projects. It just combines beautifully to add just a little bit of detail. All right, now I normally do things in threes. I probably will add another embellishment cluster somewhere, but I'm not sure where that's going to be. So I'll probably do a little bit more stamping with that. I'm just going to hold off. Now I want to bring in some of that gold. So I was thinking maybe some splatters with gold, and I thought that the Wink of Stella might be a great way to splatter. I'm not sure how well it will show up on the red cardstock, but we're going to give it a try. So this is our clear Wink of Stella brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit to get some of the ink down to the bottom, down to the brush part. Okay, we'll see if that's enough. And then I'm going to tap it with my bone folder. And I'm going to focus on these same areas where I've done my stamping. Okay, so let me bring that up a little closer. Let's see if you guys can see that. It is noticeable in certain light. It's got this fine little splatter with a little bit of shimmer to it. Yeah, it's not showing up so much on camera, but trust me, it's there. So now I'm going to set this aside for a little bit while we work on this piece. And I think I might bring this, just because there's a little bit of adhesive here, I'm just going to bring this piece back so it doesn't stick to my glass mat. All right. And okay, how did we decide we were going to do it this way? Let's rotate it this way. Okay. So now I'm going to figure out my positioning for these and where I'm going to put my photos. Okay, so I'm thinking like that. And then I think my photos I might put kind of down here. Yeah, I like that. All right. So I'm all I'm all about kind of finding the center and making sure things are straight. So I am going to pull out my ruler. So this was 7 inches. Now it doesn't, I'm not looking for perfection, but I do want to make sure that my hearts are, the first heart that I put on is pretty close to the center. I think this is going to be good. So let's stick this one here. So I've got that straight. I'm just going to line that point up with that 6-inch mark. And then I can put this away. It's just that first piece that really matters to me. Okay, and then this piece is going to go down. For this, just because this is a little bit narrower, I'm going to use my liquid glue. And I'm going to line this point up with the center here. And this is, I love how these scallops kind of pull in the scallops from the hearts. Kind of mimics that. All right. And then this one, I think I'm going to pop this up using dimensionals. I think I'm going to do that for each one of the hearts that's going in the center. And this guy will get dimensionals. So if you've got some like nesting heart dies, this would be a great layout to duplicate using nesting hearts. I remember, I think it was a couple years ago, we carried a heart punch bundle where it had a scallop heart and then a full heart. You could do that. It's a little bit smaller, but you could definitely do this idea and just maybe use more hearts. So there's lots of different ways that you can use this. You could replace these hearts with circles if you didn't want to do a love themed layout and just do different size circles and layer them up. You could use our new hexagon dies. You could do that. We've got some great nesting hexagon dies in our scrapbooking brochure. That's another idea. All right, and then we'll do this guy. And I'm thinking we're going to add some more hearts to this, but I'm going to wait until I get this stuck onto my background. I think I'd like to add some of these gold hearts in there. These gold ones, these are actually stickers. So the word love and these hearts are stickers. All right, and then we'll do this guy. This one. All right. pop these up. Almost done here. I'm looking forward to seeing next month's kit because these dies, there's a honeycomb and a little bee. Well, actually, who knows? It might not be next month. It might be the month after because these dies are good for January, February, and March kit. All right, there we go. That looks pretty. I like that. Okay, let's bring back our background. We'll just make sure that our words are going the right way. Yeah, that. And we're going to pop that on there. So we'll add some adhesive. Okay, and line this up so it's straight and figure out how high up I want it. I can use my grid, the ruler on my grid mat to make sure it's straight. Okay, that looks like it's straight. All right, that looks pretty. This would make a great title page for an album, don't you think? You could put the year and maybe a little photo on it. Okay, I'm thinking, well, that guy's going to end up getting covered. Maybe, do you think we could take this off? I did just use seal adhesive. I think we can. Save that for a different project since it's going to be fully covered. And then I think this one will go on flat since it doesn't have that dimension there. I'm going to put it a little bit kind of askew, like a little bit sideways, not a lot. We're covering up most of our stamping here. I might have to do some more stamping. This guy could go up like this. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit more stamping. I'm going to restamp this. So I'm going to bring back my scrap piece of paper that I had and just cover this over. And I'm going to stamp these just a little bit lower so that I can still see that little bit of stamping on there. So I'll start with this one. Make sure my words are straight. Go a little bit lower. And that didn't work out so well here. Thankfully, this isn't super legible. I mean, I'm sure we could read it if I looked really closely, but I'm really just doing it for the texture rather than what it says on it. Okay, and then we're going to do that black one as well. Okay, there we go. So it looks a little bit messy there, but most of that's going to get covered over, so I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, so now we can cover this like that. And then this one like that. So this one, I'm going to put a dimensional here. I'll put another one down here. And then I'm going to put one about here. So I want to make sure that there's no adhesive where this photo is going to go, just because I need to be able to slide my photo underneath because it is overlapping just slightly. All right. Okay. Now let's work on our embellishment clusters. So let me see what I've got here. So I've got this heart. I've got, this is a scrap piece that I had left over from a previous project. That might be nice up there. And I could cut from this leftover piece, I could bring in this marble pattern. So let's cut a little piece of this. I always say in my scrapbooking classes that you never want to throw anything away until you're done with a collection, because you never know when, you know, little pieces like this will come in handy for, you know, just little extra little embellishment clusters or anything that you want to create. Okay, I've got these little flags. I could do a couple little flags up here as well. Maybe like that with a baker's twine bow. That might be cute. Okay, let's see what else I've got. I've got this. I don't think I'm going to incorporate that. I've got a couple more card bases. We've got these fun flirty flamingo pink hearts. I'm definitely going to incorporate those. And then I've got this. So now I need to figure out where I want my title and what I want my title to be. I might just stick with the word love. Okay, we're going to slide those aside. I'm going to go ahead and commit to this. I'm just going to trim this piece a little bit shorter. And actually, we could flag that. And we're going to pop this up here. Or do we want to put it on this side? No, I don't want to cover over the splatter that I've got there. All right, so put that on here, line it right up with the top. And then we'll put this piece on. So these pieces are about 1/2 inch. Layer that. And then for this, what I'm going to do, because it's just plain white, I'm going to grab a Sharpie. This is just a Sharpie pen. This is what I like to use for any of my journaling. And I'm just going to doodle a border. You could also ink blend it like we did the hearts. So we're just going to do that and we'll see what it looks like. I can always flip it over if I don't like it. Yes, I guess you could call me the queen of baker's twine. I do love my baker's twine. I'm going to flag this little bit that was left over. No, that seems a bit too small. I don't know if I like that doodled bit. Maybe I'll just go around the edges. I'll just go around the edges with the flirty flamingo, just so it's not so stark. And I might trim it so it's just a little bit shorter. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for this one. Just trim it so it's a little bit shorter. Put those on there like that. Okay, we also have, I'm just looking at the stamp set. We've also got, there's some additional hearts and there's this little leaf. I might actually stamp that leaf and add a couple, fussy cut them and add a couple up there. With the kit, with this month's kit, we also got, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. We also got some red baker's twine in this month's kit. So that's what I'm gonna do my bow from. And we do have some flirty flamingo baker's twine in the annual catalog, it comes in a set with two other colors. I believe it's Balmy Blue and Lemon Lolly are the other two colors. Look how cute that is. And that's just all using just scraps. Maybe we need to add a little heart. I wish these hearts were just a little bit smaller. This is the smallest one. No, I don't like that. Okay. I do think I'm going to add that. I like that that brings in some of the gold, so we're going to add that on there. I'll just do a little bit of adhesive where it's going to sit over this raised portion, and then I'll put a couple dimensionals down this side. Okay, now how are we going to adhere this word love? It's a sticker, but it's a really fine sticker. I wonder if it would fit right on there. I don't know if I like it flat. I might want to raise it up. Oh, it's very sticky. Okay, let's grab my tweezers here. It will fit on there. Maybe we'll just stick it flat. That pulls in that gold as well. All right. Okay. Now, what do I want to do here? Oh, the leaf. That's what I was going to do. I was going to pull out this leaf. Now, should I add in an extra color? I could do the leaf in green, but we don't have any green anywhere else on the layout. So I feel if I pull in another color, I'm going to have to introduce that color in a couple different areas. So I think I might do it in Flirty Flamingo instead. And I am going to stamp on, we're going to try it. So this is the leftover piece from the die cut pieces. So we're going to try stamping on here. This cardstock is a little bit different than our regular white cardstock. I normally like gold. That's a good idea. Thank you, Shelly. Yes, that's what I will do. I will emboss it in gold. So sometimes this cardstock does not emboss, or not emboss, it doesn't stamp as well as our regular cardstock, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay, actually, let's use our embossing buddy first. And we're going to slide this out of the way. And a very dirty Versamark. I'll do 3 of them. And then sprinkle with some gold powder. Oh, I almost spilled that. Okay, dump this back in. And then I'll grab my heat tool. All right, and then we're going to fussy cut these, which I normally try to have that done before, but because I'm doing this live, I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do. So You'll just have to watch me fussy cut. All right. So a little tip that I like to share when you fussy cut is to move the paper, not your scissors. You'll get a much more even cut. And I also like to leave a little bit of a white border, so not cut right on the line. This just kind of helps hide your flaws a little bit because it is really hard to cut perfectly. Okay, yeah, I think this gold is going to be perfect to pull in that gold. We'll do one more up there. And then I do want to add some of these gold sticker hearts or champagne heart stickers. Don't want to go overboard, but I do want to pull in just a little bit more gold. Yeah, that's going to be great up there. Okay, perfect. Let's grab some mini glue dots for that. And then we'll do an extra mini glue dot for our bow. Love it. Thank you for the idea, Shelley. It's perfect. Okay. Now we do have this one more white leaf or gold leaf. What other greetings do we have? You have my heart, love. There is you're my favorite and celebrate love. Okay, I might do, there are these label shapes that come in the kit. I might do this celebrate love. I don't know where I would add it though. It seems too heavy for that. And I don't have any more. There were some longer, narrow. I don't think I have any more. So there's these. That could go across. I'm sure I've got a die that I could use, or I could just cut a strip as well. Okay, let's figure out these hearts first. So I'm thinking we'll add, okay, I don't like how that is like that. Here, here, down here. Then we've got a triangle there. I like that. Okay, so I am going to add dimensionals. Dimensionals, where are my dimensionals? Here we go. So I'll add a couple dimensionals here, and then part of the heart's going to sit over top of that raised heart. So I can leave that as is. That. And so we've got a triangle here. We also have kind of this going on. Let's see, maybe something kind of peeking up underneath here or here. Doesn't have to be a full heart. I could have, yeah, we're going to do this. So it kind of looks like a scallop. I'm going to do 2 of these hearts to kind of mimic, actually I'm going to do, yeah, I'll do 2 of these hearts and kind of mimic this scallop look. No, I don't like that. I'm going to stick with 1. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm liking it. I do want to add that celebrate love. So I'm going to grab a scrap piece of white. Oh, look at this in my scrap bin. I think I've got the perfect piece. Is it long enough? Yes, it is. And we're going to stamp it in black just to pull in that black in another area. Stamp it on there, and then I'm going to trim it so it's a little bit narrower. Pull this in. This is going to go on here, and I am going to add another baker's twine bow. Right on here like that. We'll use a mini glue dot to adhere it. And we are almost done. The last thing I'm going to do is just add some of those pretty heart. Okay, I can use a dimensional on here. We'll use a little piece from the edge. And another mini glue dot. Add our bow on there. Okay, I'm going to need to tuck another mini glue dot underneath. I'm kind of going for that kind of curvy look. So I want this to be flat. And then it's kind of raised here and then goes down lower there. So it's got a little bit of dimension there. And we're going to trim this so it's a little bit smaller. Maybe this piece, I should have done this before I stuck it down. There we go. All right, coming along. Oh, I like it. All right, do I need a third baker's twine bow? I'm thinking I don't. I think I'm going to stick with 2. All right, let's grab some of these hearts and pop them. Let's do one here. One there. So we've got 3 there. I'm going to add a couple over here as well. And then I think we'll be done. Okay, our layout is complete. I actually really like how it turned out. Now I need to find some photos for it. Love, love, love it. So almost everything that I used, apart from this white layer, the black that I added in, and this red background, everything else came in this month's Paper Pumpkin kit. So it just goes to show that you really can use what's intended to be card kits to scrapbook. So I just added in a few other additional supplies that coordinated, like the add-on, which is called, I think I forgot to mention the name of it. It's called Spring is in the Air dies. Those are only available to Paper Pumpkin subscribers, as is the refill kit. You do need to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to purchase the kits. But you could always just purchase a 1-month kit, give it a try, and order the extra supplies if you want to recreate this layout. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will have a full supply list in the description below. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous weekend. Take care.